Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's do a level 120 review of Charlotte. I'm just kidding, her name is Charlotte. I hope that there's no controversy about the pronunciation of her name. But around this time in JP, I had kind of a long dry spell as far as getting new units. I skipped a ton of stuff. Final Fantasy X, Nier, the Winter units, Valentine Salia, Dwayne, and then all the cost 90 units in between. But with Muraga and Charlotte, my long drought ended, so again I can start to make review videos. I pulled for Charlotte for no other reason than nostalgia, really. They were like, she tanks magic, she's a lightning element, and I was like, yeah, whatever, take my money already. And if I remember right, she was the first unit I ever took to 120 during the initial release period, which is really important for me to experience, because then I could see firsthand just how much easier it is that they have made building units. It was a pretty stress-free experience. It took about 20 days, but I didn't have to refresh the shop that much or get a lot of whimsy appearances at all. And it should be even easier in global with the improved bingo boards. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they did like a guaranteed get of her, maybe like a 3-step paid hatcher, because they know so many people are saving for Final Fantasy VII. And real quick, just some kind of poll advice. I don't usually do this, but if you're going to go for Cloud, I would highly recommend you go for Charlotte. They are kind of a match made in heaven. If you're not going to go for Cloud, and then you have somebody like EX Whisper or EX Rain, then I think you can more safely skip Charlotte. But my nostalgia for Charlotte comes from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, of course, but also my nostalgia for Agrias from Final Fantasy Tactics, and Saber from Fate also contribute to this, and Arthur from Monster Strike. What's funny is that I never actually used her in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. I quit Global a little after her 7-star release in JP, but I was certainly aware of her as a character, and I liked her design, and I liked her kind of lower rarity version. But one thing about War of the Visions is that they do the 3D 1-to-1 scale animated versions of characters. So old characters like Cecil from Final Fantasy IV, which exist in our minds either as the super deformed sprites or Mr. Amano's concept art, now are running and jumping and swinging swords with realistically proportioned models. And characters from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which maybe have a 1-to-1 3D version in their limit breaks, but not playable in that form, are now playable like that, and it's a real treat. And I'm so glad that they didn't go with the super deformed models for the 3D versions of the units. They do that in so many other mobile games, including other tactics type games like Phantom of the Kill, and I hate that. It's definitely something to remember and appreciate from time to time, and on Charlotte they did something different with her 3D model's face, because it looks extra good. And I hear people say that they wish that there were more numbered Final Fantasy units, and I'm like, relax, the original units are great, enjoy them. But especially the older units from Final Fantasy VI and before, and other super deformed characters like Final Fantasy Tactics, it really is great to see their adult-looking 3D models in War of the Visions. And then for Charlotte here, I really like just that she's wearing armor. There's not a ton of characters in War of the Visions wearing just kind of regular old plate armor, so yeah, it's nice. Okay, but let's look at her stats. So 6,000 base HP to start. I forget which passive abilities I have on her, but that's very nice. And resistances, 10 slash, 10 projectile, 20 magic, and then minuses on pierce and strike. These are very nice resistances. She is billed as a magic tank, but as we shall see, she can take physical fairly well. I wouldn't use her exclusively as a physical tank, but yeah, she's not a pushover either. Okay, Trustmaster, pretty darn good. It's a shield, so not a lot of people can equip it. It's like Nasia and Engelbert. But a lot of HP for a piece of armor, and then nice spirit. And then the Trustmaster ability is a self-buff. You can use once per battle, and then it will give you barriers for 3 hits. This will be good for any kind of damage, both magic and physical, and then will also give you some AP for that first turn that you cast it. I think we're all pretty familiar now with how good the barriers are on Helena's Trustmaster, so yeah, this is pretty great to have in a tank. Alright, then we got jobs, Grand Shelt Knight for the main job, and then Monk subjob and Thief subjob. Alright, let's look at her abilities. Okay, main job, Grand Shelt Knight. Speed Punish. This is a medium range attack, a little bit of AoE. We'll do medium damage and then we'll lower agility. That's very nice. Glorious Armor. This is one of her best TP skills, and this also gets upgraded from EX jobs. But will raise own defense and spirit, also give regen, protect, and shell. I feel like now protect and shell are getting kind of more and more popular in global, including with the arrival of Whisper EX. But yeah, very nice. And then both the defense and then the protect will also help her better tank the physical, so yeah, that's nice. And then the AI will prioritize that second after the hate up skill, generally, in auto battle. Okay, here's Lightning Strike. This might be her best attack, but short range will imperil lightning resistance, and then also lower reaction ability chance of going off. So this could be good against Yuna, lower the chance of Eon Bond going off. This could be good against Rangers to lower the chance of their reflex. And then of course, being able to imperil the lightning, she can help her own damage in future turns, or she can really enable Cloud. This is an excellent attack. Short range with her doesn't matter as much since she's going to be tanking and she's going to be close anyway. Okay, Attract Wall. This is usually what she uses first turn, but this will raise her own hate. This is a TP skill. And then for 3 turns will raise her defense and spirit break resistance. If you max it to 20 like I have here, it will give you 50% break resistance. And so what that means is that if Stern attacks with his defense resistance, you flip a coin and you see if the break takes or not. If it takes, it just does the regular break. If it does not, it does 0 break. And then it says you can cast it twice and then it will stack with itself. So you can actually get yourself up to 100% defense and spirit resistance, but we'll talk later about how to maybe use this. And then the AI is only going to use this once until the hate wears off, and then it'll use it again later. I've never seen the AI use it 2 times in a row. Okay, then Stunning Edge. Medium range only goes in a straight line. Small damage has a chance to stun. And Grand Shelt Wall will give... This is her job level 25 skill, small AoE TP buff, and will raise all attack resistances. But it's not a lot, it's like 8 or 10, I forget which, but yeah, that's not a ton. Okay, we'll look at a Grand Shelt Knight subjob. Only 2 skills here. This is a large AoE TP buff, and then we'll raise lightning, water, and then dark resistance. This is excellent for PvE, I would say. Especially if you're going against like Espers with a specific element, but otherwise, as you can see, I turn it off. Then here's a Paralyzed Blade, a short range AoE, medium damage, and then for 3 turns has a chance to paralyze. This is okay. Okay, next subjob we got Monk. As you can see, I do not use this, but she has all of the attacking ones. Let's see, she's got the one that goes down a straight line, and the Hadouken, and the 2-hit one, and then Tameru, charge, or whatever it is. This might be the best thing of her Monk subjob, but like if you wanted to improve her attack for 1 turn, you could use this. She also has the strike attack up support ability. Okay, then we got Thief. Let's see, we got the evade up, confuse dagger, a little bit of range, medium damage, and then chance of confuse. Steal time. Let's see, the big damage, if you hit from behind, you'll get the critical hit. Steal, and then steal vision. Steal vision and steal time, those are always useful, but I hardly ever use this subjob either, as you can see. Okay, let's look at support abilities. HP up, and this one is HP up and Spirit up. I have that on her pretty much 100% of the time, and then we can see Spirit is 36 there. That's very nice. Here is the Strike attack up. Let's see, gained AP up. Again, that might be useful for her since she uses a lot of AP. Here's the Thief move +1 and then Agility up. I have this on her also almost 100% of the time. And then this one, this is interesting. At level 20, this will give you, again, defense and spirit break resistance up 50%. So you could put this on her, and then she'll always have the 50% resistance up. But if you cast the Attract Wall, then you'll take it to 100, and then, yeah, defense and spirit breaks won't work on you at all. And then it won't matter if you can't cast 2 of that Attract Wall in a row. It's not as good as Muraga's self-buff, however, which gives you 100% for all breaks. So Muraga, he can also resist breaks of elements and agility and all that stuff. But still, if you know you're going to go up against defense and spirit breaks, like, say, Super Stern or Helena, this could be good to put on her. Okay, and then reaction ability. When she takes magic damage, she will get Spirit up. This can stack 2 times. And then here's the Strike counter. And then the Thief reaction ability. When she gets hit, her agility could go up. This might be good, actually, also. Okay, then we got the Limit Break. Let's see. Medium range, big AoE. Big damage will break, attack, and magic. And then also give herself defense and spirit way up. So it's kind of like a sentinel plus a break plus some damage. It sounds awesome, but I think it's still too expensive AP-wise for what she gets out of it. So I usually turn this off. Damage-wise, it's not going to do very much. You're really using it for the break and then the self-buff. I guess if you know it's going to be a super short match and you need a lot of stuff to come out quickly, it could be good for that. Alright, and the Master ability has the typical Lightning team buff, and then for herself, raise Spirit 10 and HP 5%. Okay, so that is a look at her real quick. For Espers, you could give her a lot of stuff actually. We'll see in a second when we do some field tests, but even if you build her for defense or like slash resistance, she still takes magic very well. So if you wanted to make sort of her a kind of more balanced tank that can tank anything, give her Espers that give her defense or attack resistances. For vision cards, you could give her Fenrir for the magic resistance. If you wanted to give her a bit more attack, you could give her Aegaion. That will also give her more HP, which is nice, but I don't think you can ever really rely on her for damage. Definitely not going to be able to lead a team, and she's only going to be so-so as a secondary attacker. That's been my experience, at least. And then I always say this about tanks, but you can think of them as like really easy to slot into different PvP teams. You could have your team of 2, maybe like Helena and Garble, and then you can pair them with like any tank. You could put Rain in there, you could put Charlotte in there, you could put Engelbert in there. So yeah, even though Charlotte and Cloud are really good together as a lightning pair, I wouldn't limit Charlotte to just lightning heavy teams or mono lightning teams. And also, if you do use the pair of Cloud and Charlotte together, you don't have to feel obligated to use lightning in the 3rd slot as well. I mean, 9S and Federica are really strong and they'll be good on any team, but you don't have to feel limited to them. I talked about how Dwayne and Helena are such a good combo that you can really pair them with anybody. Cloud and Charlotte are approaching that. They're not as good, but you can kind of think of them in the same way. Like you could put Ayaka on the team, get some healing. You could put Kiton or 2B on the team, get like crazy wild card that can just run off by itself. You could put a physical tank on the team and so cover both physical and magic. Or you could put Helena or Luel or Mua on the team, and then you'd be attacking with physical from Cloud and then magic from the other character. And so yeah, mono-element teams maybe look prettier, but like mixing elements and mixing attack types will give your opponent more headaches, I guarantee it. Okay, let's go to the story. Let's do some field tests with her. We'll look at how she takes magic, how she takes physical, and then how she does damage herself. Okay, let's do some field tests. First, I'm really going to build Charlotte for Spirit and a little bit of magic resistance, and we'll see how kind of a real average Hyper Helena and a real average Super Stern do damage against her. Okay, Limit Break, Shadow Rose, 800 damage, it's not very much. Alright, that's Dark, 400. See, this is the 100% hit one. That's not very much. Here's the Spirit Break. That's going to be her most powerful attack in this case, 1400. And then Shadow Flare, 300. Okay. Okay, let's check her stats. So 78 Spirit, and then 48 Magic Resistance. So we don't have max either of those ones, but still, Helena is doing very little damage on her. Okay, next, regular attack with Super Stern, 2000. Swift Slash, 5000. Mighty Break, 4000. And Barrier Break, no barriers, but almost 5000. So yeah, Super Stern's doing good damage, but she's not able to one-punch her. Part of that is just because her HP is so high. Part of that is from like Leona's Castle giving her 15 defense, and yeah. And then I'm choosing Helena and Super Stern because they're probably the best attackers that I have for both magic and physical. Alright, but I got some TP, got the Hazard Injury. Almost one-punch Charlotte at that point. But then again, this is Charlotte without any self-buffs. No Protect, no defense, self-buffs. But yeah, here let's use Glorious Armor. That will give the defense, Spirit, Protect, and Shell. And then let's try again with these. 2-digit damage now with the Limit Break. Yes, okay. Protect and Shell are really good. They really, really are. If you haven't looked at Agrias' Trustmaster, her armor, in a while, I might give that another look. That does give you both Protect and Shell. Okay, but here again, Swift Slash, 3000. Mighty Break, 2500. Barrier Break, 3000. And Hazard Injury, 4000. So yeah, with the typical buffs, Charlotte's taking damage much better. Okay, next let's build Charlotte for more defense and then slash resistance. And again, we will use Helena and Super Stern against her. Okay, Limit Break, 2300. And let's check the stats. 22 defense, 40 spirit. Again, the base 20 magic resistance and about 70 slash resistance. Okay, but there's Dark, 1200. 100% hit attack, 1400. 2300 from the Spirit Break, and then 900 from the Barrier Break, I think it was. No, Shadow Flare. Okay, here comes Stern. Swift Slash, 1000. Mighty Break, under 1000. And Barrier Break, 1000. And again, this is before self-buffs from Charlotte. And we can see, well, she's taking the physical very well. But she's even taking the magic pretty well, so maybe the ideal build for Charlotte would be to build, just kind of focus on her physical resistances, physical defenses, and then make her kind of an all-around tank. It doesn't mean that she's not going to have weaknesses, but yeah. Okay, last, let's build Charlotte for attack. I will give her the Coral Sword, +5. Give her the Eye Guy on Vision card. And then Fenrir for both magic resistance and slash attack up. And then she also has the Muraga slash attack up card, which I think Stern had or somebody. Okay, regular attacks about 1,000. Okay, speed punish. 2,300 on Helena and 2,800 on Super Stern. Here's the Lightning Imperil. This is maybe her best attack, big damage. Imperil Lightning, lower the reaction rate. Okay, about 2,000 there, chance of confuse. And we'll use bells on her. So yeah, as you can see, not great damage, even against these two characters that are not really known for their defense. But let's use Helena's Trustmaster ability, give her some barriers. We can also use Super Stern's Trustmaster ability. This will give him single target resistance up. And we'll see how Charlotte does now. Okay, regular attack, under 1,000 and under 1,000. And let's try her Limit Break. So 3,200 on Stern. That's one of her better attacks, but again, for the cost. You can make that judgment call. And then yeah, with the barriers on Helena, under 2,000. Okay, there's the Speed Punish, or Speed whatever it was. Yeah, Speed Punish. That was Stunning Edge, and then finally Paralyze attack. So yeah, not amazing damage from her. I did not show her Monk skills in this video, and I didn't level up the Monk support ability, so you might be able to get some nice damage there. Maybe if you go against Megamont, but yeah, in general, I wouldn't rely on her for damage. Maybe use her Lightning Imperil to set up Cloud, or just focus on her as a tank, and then maybe not even give her a weapon. Okay, but that will do it for my review of 120 Charlotte. Very happy to have her. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.